Welcome. In this video, the new update for Onyxcoin has arrived again. What will happen? We will analyze it. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and please watch to the end to understand.
But first, let's analyze the Onyxcoin.
Analyzing price movements through technical analysis provides investors with various perspectives, and conducting these analyses accurately offers a significant advantage in the decision-making process. In this context, descending channel formations, which are widely used in technical analysis, provide important clues about how market psychology has shaped over a specific period. Now, let's examine a scenario in which the price is moving within such a descending channel and has recently bounced above the midline of the channel, indicating that the price is now targeting the upper boundary. We will explore the situation with a detailed, positive, and long-term optimistic perspective. A descending channel formation generally describes a trend structure in which the price fluctuates downward. This formation includes two parallel trend lines, the upper band, resistance line, and the lower band, support line. These bands represent a corridor where the price moves over time by forming lower highs and lower lows. Such a structure shows that the market is in a negative trend for a certain period, but that buying and selling pressures continue rhythmically within this trend. In this sense, descending channel formations are powerful tools that indicate both the continuation of a downtrend and potential reversal points. However, in this case, a very specific and positive structure stands out. The price has bounced above the midline of the descending channel. This is a highly critical and bullish technical signal. The midline within descending channels typically acts as both dynamic support and resistance, a reference level often considered by the market. A bounce above this midline usually indicates that buyers are gaining strength and that the market is preparing to move toward the upper boundary rather than the lower one. The price finding strong support at the midline of the descending channel carries the potential to break the negative momentum within the trend. This behavior may indicate that the price is gaining resistance against downward pressure and that market sentiment is gradually shifting from sellers to buyers. Especially if this bounce is supported by a bullish candlestick or rising trading volume, it also reveals that there is strong demand behind the movement. The idea that the price is now targeting the upper band of the channel is a very logical conclusion in technical analysis, because each wave of movement within a descending channel typically flows from the lower band to the upper band and then back down again. Therefore, a bounce above the midline provides a strong clue that the price is now making an upward swing within the channel. The ultimate target of this move would naturally be the channel's upper boundary. In this context, the upper band of the channel is both a strong resistance zone and a potential profit area. When the price reaches this band, it must be observed whether previous sellers step in again. However, considering the current scenario, where the bounce from the midline has triggered strong upward momentum, it is technically very reasonable to expect this movement to continue toward the upper boundary of the channel. Moreover, such a rally would psychologically motivate investors to buy more and lay the groundwork for new buyers entering the market. This bounce above the midline can also be interpreted as a trend reversal signal. If the price reaches the upper band of the channel and breaks through it strongly, the descending channel structure becomes invalid, and it becomes possible to speak of a new upward trend starting from that point forward. So this movement is not just a fluctuation within the current descending channel, but also a possible precursor of a new long-term bullish trend. For this reason, bounces from the midline carry much deeper technical meaning beyond just movement toward the upper band. The ability of the price to hold above the midline within a descending channel also shows that investor confidence is beginning to reemerge. This confidence means that important support levels are being respected technically and that the market is validating those supports. In other words, the price may now be entering an upward move without retesting lower levels. This provides investors with a strong advantage in forecasting the market's direction, which is one of the core goals of technical analysis. Additionally, this situation creates a structure where stop-loss strategies can be more comfortably planned. In a price movement that bounces off the midline, stop-loss levels can be set just below the midline, minimizing risk. This allows investors to benefit from the upward potential while keeping downside risks under control. Such as asymmetric risk-reward ratio scenarios are highly valuable for investors in technical analysis. If the price successfully moves up to the upper band of the channel, its reaction at that level becomes especially important. If the price encounters selling pressure at this upper band, it can be interpreted as investors taking profit and this level forming a short-term cup. However, if the price breaks through this level with high volume, it would mark the end of the descending channel and the beginning of a new upward trend. Therefore, the movement from the midline toward the upper band is a signal that influences not only short-term trading decisions, but also long-term investment strategies. In conclusion, in technical analysis, a bounce off the midline within a descending channel is a very positive technical indicator. This move indicates that the market is preparing for an upward movement, and sellers are losing influence and buyers are taking control. This structure is valuable for both short-term trade opportunities and for long-term trend reversal expectations. The expectation that the price will rise to the upper band after this bounce is based on a strong technical foundation, and if this expectation materializes, investors may realize significant gains. Therefore, a bounce above the midline within a descending channel should be seen as a positive structure by investors and closely monitored. But we can't make decisions based on the channel alone, so let's look at other metrics too. Stay tuned.
I'm interrupting the video for a moment, friends, because BitTunix Exchange has a great campaign. Here's how it works. After registering on the exchange via the link in the description and completing KYC, if you deposit $100 for your first deposit, you will receive a $20 bonus. If you deposit $500, you'll receive a $100 bonus, and if you deposit $1,000, you will receive a $200 bonus. I think this is an excellent opportunity for leverage trading. For more details, you can read the articles below. The link is in the description. The price moving above the 200 EMA is a highly important and strong signal in technical analysis. This indicator represents the average value of prices over the past 200 periods and is used to determine the direction of the long-term trend. Often favored by investors and analysts to understand the overall market tendency, this indicator suggests a bearish trend when the price is below it and a bullish trend when the price is above it or begins to move higher. Especially in markets like cryptocurrency where volatility and sudden price swings are common, the 200 EMA can serve as a key guide in decision-making. That's because the 200 EMA reflects a more balanced and smoothed-out price trend, filtering out sudden spikes and drops, thereby offering a clearer view of the long-term direction. When the price breaks above the 200 EMA, it is typically interpreted by investors as a strong technical breakout. This suggests that the bulls may be regaining control and that buyers are becoming more dominant than sellers. Especially if this breakout occurs with significant volume, it indicates that the upward movement could be even stronger. At this stage, investors often see the 200 EMA as a new support level and expect the price to continue its upward momentum from there. Thus, this breakout not only has technical implications but also boosts market sentiment and attracts new buyers. As a result, prices may accelerate and climb higher. The price moving above the 200 EMA can also act as a trigger for many algorithmic trading strategies. Institutional investors and professional traders often incorporate criteria like the 200 EMA breakout into their systems. This leads to automatic buy orders being added to the market, supporting the price movement not only through manual trades but also algorithmic ones. Therefore, once the price moves above this average, the upward trend may be fueled not just by short-term interest but also by long-term buying momentum. This increases the likelihood of a lasting rally rather than a temporary bounce. Thus, when the price moves above the 200 EMA, it holds strong potential to initiate a sustainable bullish trend, both technically and in terms of trading volume. The price action following this breakout should be closely monitored. It's very common for the price to retest the 200 EMA after moving above it. If the price holds above this level during the retest and buyers step in again, this confirms the trend and indicates that the uptrend may continue. Once the price is above the 200 EMA, the notion that the market is now in an uptrend becomes more firmly established. This forms a more positive market structure where both individual and institutional investors feel more confident entering buy positions. This breakout isn't limited to technical analysis. If it is also supported by fundamental analysis, the upward movement can become even stronger. For example, if a cryptocurrency that breaks above the 200 EMA is also supported by positive news, it boosts investor confidence and can cause the price to rise more sharply. In other words, when both technical and fundamental factors provide positive signals, the uptrend becomes more sustainable. This is particularly valuable for long-term investors who tend to hold their positions longer when a project is both technically strong and fundamentally supported. The significance of a price moving above the 200 EMA becomes even more meaningful when analyzed on longer timeframes such as weekly and monthly charts. Breakouts on long-term charts can be the beginning of much larger moves. For example, a price move above the 200 EMA on a weekly chart may also signal a trend reversal on the monthly scale. This provides an opportunity not just for short-term trades, but also for opening medium and long-term positions. For swing traders and position traders, such breakouts are especially valuable, as they aim to profit by following trends that form over higher timeframes. Another key point is monitoring the 200 EMA across multiple timeframes. For instance, if a price moves above the 200 EMA on the hourly chart and also shows a similar breakout on the daily chart, it indicates a stronger, more solid bullish trend. These types of multi-timeframe alignments, known in technical analysis as multi-timeframe confluence, offer more reliable signals regarding price direction. In other words, when the price stays consistently above the EMA in both the short and long term, it helps investors take more confident positions and builds a more positive market perception.
Lastly, investors should be aware that the 200 EMA is a dynamic indicator that changes over time. This average is updated with each new price point, meaning it doesn't stay fixed at a specific level. Therefore, while the price breaking above the EMA is an important signal, a true trend reversal can only be confirmed if the price sustains itself above the EMA. Investors should pay attention not just to the breakout itself, but also to whether the price can close above this level and whether it acts as support. If these conditions are met, the likelihood of the price entering a long-term bullish trend is quite high. In conclusion, the price moving above the 200 EMA is a very strong bullish signal from a technical analysis standpoint and may indicate that a buying opportunity is beginning. This breakout signals not only a potential trend reversal, but also a shift in overall market sentiment. As the price continues to hold above this level, supported by both technical patterns and fundamental developments, a sustained uptrend may begin, thus allowing investors to maintain long-term positions with the expectation of further price increases. Therefore, a price structure that moves above the 200 EMA stands out as a highly valuable signal that opens the door to further upside in the investment world.
XCN team's Twitter post asking who's ready to go gas-free could signal a noteworthy and exciting development in the crypto world. On the surface, it seems simple and brief, but behind it lies a deeper strategy and signals of a significant upcoming upgrade. Posts like this are often more than just community announcements. They aim to boost confidence in the project, increase interest, and prepare the community for major developments. The emphasis on gas-free here shines like a beacon of hope, especially for users frustrated with high transaction fees on Ethereum-based projects. First, understanding the concept of gas-free is essential. In blockchain-based systems, especially networks running smart contracts, every transaction requires a gas fee, which is calculated based on computational load and fluctuates with network congestion. On heavily used networks like Ethereum, these fees can reach levels unacceptable to many users. So, if a project speaks of a future without gas fees, that can be groundbreaking for users. XCN's post likely indicates that they are developing a mechanism to eliminate or drastically reduce transaction fees for users. This development could have significant effects. First, it enhances user experience. Removing transaction fees offers a major advantage for micropayments, NFT transfers, or interacting with dApps. Many users avoid small transactions because the fee might exceed the transfer value. A gas-free system could remove that barrier and significantly boost platform usage. Such an innovation might also attract developers. Running smart contracts without gas fees becomes much more cost-effective, encouraging new developers to build applications and solutions on the XCN network. Growth in the developer community directly expands the ecosystem and contributes to long-term sustainability. Technically, this kind of system could be powered by a highly optimized Layer 2 solution, roll-up technology, or a bespoke fee abstraction model. XCN may have built an architecture where the protocol or a sponsor covers fees rather than charging users directly. Technologies like ZK Rollup or Optimistic Rollup could minimize fees on Layer 1, enabling XCN to offer a truly free transaction experience. Moreover, the implications of this update may go beyond technology alone. That tweet might herald a new roadmap announcement, a major partnership, or structural changes to tokenomics. For example, a staking program that offsets gas fees by staking XCN tokens could directly boost demand and price pressure on the token. From an investor psychology perspective, such news can be highly positive. In crypto, news greatly impacts prices. Especially good news can drive investor sentiment and create FOMO, triggering buying pressure. If XCN truly delivers a system that eliminates transaction fees, it could attract not only existing users, but also thousands of potential new investors. This tweet also functions as a teaser, intended to spark excitement and build expectation rather than reveal everything at once. That approach shows a strong marketing strategy and signals updates will be rolled out step by step. It indicates a professional team and signals an intention to build trust and engagement with the community. Community impact is another critical factor. Success for projects like XCN relies not just on technical advancements, but also on the size and loyalty of the community. If the community actively supports and shares this post, engagement rises and broader awareness emerges. Viral traction on social media can drive significant price increases in a short time. XCN's post also shows a user-centric vision. Initiatives that reduce user burden and transaction costs promote adoption of decentralized systems. Many users avoid decentralized platforms due to high fees. Removing that barrier allows XCN to attract not just current users, but also broader audiences who haven't tried decentralized apps before.
This innovation could also affect off-chain use cases. If XCN integrates support for gas-free off-chain transactions, it could accelerate development of Web3 applications like NFT platforms, in-game asset transfers, or real-world asset tokenization by offering cost-free infrastructure to compete with rivals. From a tokenomics perspective, this innovation strengthens XCN's value proposition. Even in a gas-free system, the token might be used for premium services or platform features, creating demand and upward price pressure. Integration with staking, liquidity pools, or a DAO ecosystem can increase passive income opportunities for investors. In summary, XCN's "Pre's ready to go gas-free" tweet is more than a social media post. It could mark a major strategic shift. If it heralds infrastructure updates that eliminate or greatly reduce transaction fees, the implications are technically and psychologically very positive. This could position XCN not just ahead of peers, but as a pioneering, user-friendly platform in the decentralized world. Official announcements in the coming days will clarify the nature of this innovation. For now, growing community interest is a strong indicator that positive price action may follow.
Yes, friends, I hope you liked the video. If you subscribe to my channel and like the video, more videos will be coming. Be careful in your investments, analyze the risks correctly, and always take strategic steps. I will be with you with different analyses, investment opportunities, and technical information in my videos. I wish you all a lot of profit. See you soon.